Hey everyone, Brian here, and welcome back to the KOTH King of the Hill semi-finals, and we are facing the real Jesus. He's a pretty good player, I'd say top 5 all strats, maybe even top 3 all strats. He's a really good player, he knows about a lot of stuff. He's maybe top 5, top 10 darts. He's pretty decent at Cobra, and he has a good knowledge of NG and bows. So it's a best of 5. The starting map is Riverside, no towers are banned. Tier 0 powers, no forts, as per usual of the KOTH system. If you want to join KOTH, make sure to click the link in the description of my video. KOTH is basically a competitive server where people improve their gameplay to grind a leaderboard system that's less demanding than grinding arena leaderboards. So I was in a rush to do this post-com since update 6.10 was out. Update 6.10 isn't much actually, so I'm probably not gonna make a video on it. It's basically a new map and some bug changes, but I had to record this since this was in upgrade date 6.9 and you can't view previous update replays, so I'm just gonna do it like this. And I didn't do a live com since I needed to try hard. If we win this game, we'll be facing Subby PewDiePie in the KOTH Season 4 finals, and if we lose this game, we'll be facing Bendover, aka King, in the 3rd place playoff. The prizes are $70, $30, and $20 for first, second, and third respectively. So yeah. Now let's talk about the gameplay. Boat Farm Mortar versus Boat Farm Ace. Jesus is the 000 guy, by the way. Now the only way Boat Farm Ace is really viable is if your opponent upgrades to a BIA. Now, if we pause the video here on round 14, we have 3 plantations. He also has 3 plantations. Plus, I have a pretty big eco lead, a 155 eco lead actually. Pretty big. He does have more defense than me since when going Boat Farm Ace, the upgrades are quite costly. Now, by Jesus sending this rush, is a big mistake, and he basically denied himself the BIA. And on this map, the boat and mortar spots are pretty good, so I'm able to solo regrow leads with 1 destroyer. So now we have 100 eco lead, and we're out farming by 1 plantation, which equates to about 200 eco. I accidentally missed my BIA, so I get 30 eco instead of the 80, so I miss out on 50 eco. But it doesn't honestly matter since we have a huge lead anyway. And the reason why I'm going for my BIA is because I know that he can't go for his one. And if he rushes me, he's basically dead since he's draining himself. If that makes sense. So you should never send MOABs versus bows since it's pretty easy to defend. So I just cash out my BIA to be safe since I know I've pretty much won this game at this point. 200 eco lead, BIA, he just has 4 plantations, which doesn't give much money these rounds. So I start sending leads, force a second cannon ship and the grape shot. But I continue sending these leads since they layer in pretty nicely. And now he probably should have gone for destroyers instead of cannon ships. Aquafire plays this really well. And this is mixing in with the round 20 leads, so he's leaking down a lot. But he seems to be thriving. But while he is busy defending, he has upgraded no farms, got no eco, and I have 500 eco lead plus like 7k in my BIA. So he's forced to boat pull here, and he still might die. Is he dead? No, he's not dead, never mind. But I'm just continuing sending leads, harass him. He's boosting again, so he has 1 more boost left. And at this point, we can probably outlast him late game. but I still plan to harass him even more. Aggro BIA is actually really good, since the BIA cooks up money and your opponent has to focus on defending rather than farming. So that's game 1, 1-0 to me, and I'll see you guys in the second game. Okay, so his loser map is A game. He's maybe top 1 A game player. He's mastered it a lot. I knew he was going Cobra, so I went Telefarm NG. In my opinion, I mean, from my experience, I have never lost to Cobra while playing Heli NG on this map. So basically, Heli NG counters every time. But Jesus came up with this new playstyle that utterly wrecked me on A game. Oops, spoiler alert, but okay. So he accidentally boosted round 4. Yeah, so that's kind of unfortunate. If he would surrender, I'd probably let him redo. But he never surrendered. Anyway, I was being like tryhard, so yeah, I never surrendered myself. So he's leaked down quite a few lives. He's used all his spikes, but he's still pretty good. I believe his whiz is on first. I think he mixes the targeting to first to close. He has blacks. He's just sending constant blacks. So my aim is to get 3 plantations before round 12, and then I can afford my factory maybe around 19. So he boosted around 9 yellows, and I had to boost late, and I leaked a lot of lives. So I go for my rotors here, and here he sent a really eco-heavy rush with some whites, and I have to sell a farm since my boost isn't back yet. And my lives are pretty low, so I can't really afford to, so I have to over defend now. Now, to be honest, at this point, I was thinking, there's no way Heli Farmer NG beats a good Cobra player like Jesus. So he is really outplaying me right now. My farms are non-existent, even though I have NG. He's probably gonna beat me around 20 BFBs. So I'm kinda in a bad spot right now. So he's sending me another eco rush, and this actually does so much damage with the round 14 AI, since I can't afford to leak any lives since I'm down to 20. So at this point I know I'm pretty much dead, so I decide to rush him, hoping to force a boost and then all out him. So I sell my defense, and he actually almost dies here. Bossy gets up a late boost, and he has 700 eco, so he's really outplaying me, to be honest. So I all out him, and look at his ace. He does not ODS micro, and that's a big mistake, so he does go down. So our third game is on Secret Monkey Lay. I'm going Engineer Farm Ninja, Engineer Ninjas, and Jesus, God's son, is going Dart Farm Wiz. He's top 1 Dart Farm Wiz player, verified by me. And I knew that at the start, but I was pretty sure that I could beat his Dart Farm Wiz with NG, provided that I drain him enough. And this was actually a pretty interesting game, even though it was kind of drain game later. But NG kind of thrives in late game, in drain games, but not when you're facing top 1 Dart Farm Wiz. So it's gonna be an interesting game for sure. I believe his darts are 1 on first, 1 on close. That one might be on strong, I'm not sure. Actually, it's on first. So in round 6, I'm gonna send him some boosted greens, maybe force a 3rd dart, and yeah, I did. His dart placements were a little off there. I think he accidentally put 1 on last, which is why he leaked so much. So I simply upgrade to 9-inch and the 2nd NG, 3rd NG actually. And I'm trying not to boost here. And in retaliation, in my retaliation to his beefy yellow rush, I counter him with yellows. He boosts immediately. But the reason why I sent yellows was not to force a boost, it was to kill him. Basically, since he sold his third darts, 2 triple darts alone cannot defend constant yellows. And if you bloom boost on top of the non-bloom boosted yellows, they layer extremely well. So he will die to this, most likely. So I bloom boost, and he's forced to sell his plantation, so he has no farms now. He upgrades to a lightning wizard, but since I bloom boosted layered over him, his lightning wiz only pops 12 yellows at a time, so he'll probably still die, so he has to upgrade. He sells the second triple dart to go for a second lightning, and he leaks to 6 lives. So I upgrade to my Bloon trap here. And he sent me pinks, so I'm just gonna sell everything to go straight for my trap, since I don't want to boost in case I die around 13. And now, yep, it's a drain game. But I have more money invested into defense, since a Bloon trap is worth 5k compared to 2k, like 3k. So here's a very interesting moment. We're both drained. So he sells his lightning to semi-zebra, so I counter him with some rainbows to make him stop his all out. He sends me first though, but the thing is, it doesn't show up on my screen, but my Bloon trap was still on the screen, and it stalled the balloons for longer. Also, he had 6 lives. So even though it looked like I died first, he did die first, and since my Bloon trap was still on screen, I did not DC glitch. I'm gonna follow him actually. So thanks for watching the KOTH semi-finals, and I'll see you guys in the finals when we face Pewd BTD. See ya guys. 3-0'd.